Hello, welcome to Geekonomics. It's Marc and Bryon. We're back again. Second week. Is it second week? Third week of January.
Yeah.
Third full week of January. Still in our at-home bunkers. Getting phone calls in the middle of the show as always. How you doing, Bryon? How was your week?
Doing good, Mark. How are you doing? Do you need to answer or respond to that message?
No, it's just a random call I can return later.
All right, because I know you're having some technical difficulties at the old household. So
having some home issues. Got the some power issues in the kitchen, but nothing I don't think too major, thankfully. So we get it fixed and back up and running.
Someone's in the kitchen.
But how's your week?
I know. How's my week, Mark? Well, pretty good on a 3-day weekend. I love it.
Yes.
I guess I'll go into basically.
Now, do you have the same thing like I do? Is Allison working today?
No, she is today.
Or she have it off too?
She has it off.
See, Claire has to work today.
Oh.
So I have the day off.
This is the first time she's actually had this holiday off. Previous jobs, she's always had to work. So this is kind of nice for her. She would always make fun of me because I literally would have every holiday off. And I work in a Jewish community where I get the Jewish holidays off too.
Yeah, you get the Jewish holidays too. So you're
Rosh Hashanah.
You're never working.
Yeah, I basically don't.
You're never
I think I work like 10 days out of the whole year with all the holidays.
Like those, like I don't know if you remember when we were like elementary school ages. I had friends that went to Catholic school, and it seemed like they were never in school. It seemed like they always had time off. Like they were always home. And I used to get so aggravated. I used to yell at my mom. I used to argue with my mom all the time. I'm like, why couldn't I go to Catholic school? They always have vacations. You're like, you're not Catholic. Go to school.
I get sandwich day off. I get
You get Patriots Day because you're a mass weirdo.
Yep, Patriots Day.
Yeah.
I mean, that holiday is expanding. It is more than just Massachusetts now. So maybe one day it will be a national holiday. I don't know.
I doubt it.
Why? Could be.
Who knows?
I think I'd want the one holiday my dream would be Election Day to be a national holiday. That
just makes sense. That's one I always thought was kind of strange.
And it's voter suppression.
If you close the schools and everything, why wouldn't you just kill everything off?
Yeah, have a day like today, like Martin Luther King Jr. Day or something.
Yeah.
Just have days off from work.
I mean, there's still stuff open. I mean, there's still going to be things open, like grocery stores and stuff like that. But
yeah.
Like major businesses like that wouldn't have to
close.
Let their employees go and vote and not have to be worried about doing it before or after work or on their lunch break or something like that.
Right.
I concur.
I concur. This week, I have a few things of note. An awesome video game that came out in the 360 era, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, side scroller, beat 'em up, co-op, a lot of fun, great animation style. It was taken off the store a long time ago, so people you could, if you owned it, great, but if not, it was gone. They just released
like Parlor.
Yes, they just released physical and digital edition, complete edition on current gen, and I downloaded that. It's a lot of fun and it brings back memories of living in Springfield. That's when I used to play it when I lived in Springfield. And then
great movie.
Yeah. Oh, great comic, great movie. I mean, one of the best adaptions from graphic novel to comic to even video game. It's so much fun. If you want something to do, co-op with the kids, bam. I am so close to beating AC Valhalla. I just hit 100 hours on that game. I love the stories. I love every little mini story of. They're just so much fun, and I don't even know what I'm going to do when I beat the game. I'm going to be like lost. I'm going to be like, I want to keep
playing another game.
I know, but you know, you get entrenched in a show and you finish it and you're in a show hole. You're kind of like, I don't know what to do with myself.
What do I watch now?
Yeah, that's how I'm going to feel when I beat AC. And then out of a whim, I recommend a movie called Lockdown on HBO Max. Saturday night, I had watched a trailer by mistake. I highly recommend don't watching the trailer. But I watched the trailer and I'm like,
that Anne Hathaway?
Yeah. I said, it looks interesting. So Saturday night, I sit down and I said, hey, let's just watch this. You're not going to see the trailer, though. She always wants to watch the trailer. I'm like, it will ruin the whole movie. We watched it. It's enjoyable. It's not the best movie I've ever seen, but it's an enjoyable film. It's a good 2-hour, entertaining a flick. But the trailer, after the movie, I told Allison, I said, the trailer would have ruined that entire movie. So we watched it, and she's like, holy crap. That basically was a summary of everything we just watched.
It was like a Cliff Notes. I saw the trailer. It's like a Cliff Notes of the movie. It's like, well, I don't need to see that movie now. I know what happens.
Yeah, I mean, there is a little bit more to it, and I really enjoyed it.
But not much.
But yeah, that trailer does not do a good service to the actual movie itself. I think if I had to tell anybody out there, I don't want to ruin it. The elevator pitch is a couple break up right before lockdown in March, but they're stuck. They live together, so they're stuck together. And antics ensue, and that would have been it. And then everything else would have been a surprise.
Yeah.
But that trailer gave way too much away, I thought. But it's still an enjoyable movie. If you want 2 hours to kill, it's a good movie. Just good, just enjoyable. You're like, yeah, that was pretty good. And then, of course, WandaVision hit.
Yes.
We watched that. We were going to talk about that today. What about you, Mark?
I blitzed through the first season of Snowpiercer last week.
How was it?
I am addicted. I love it. It's fantastic. I suggest that you guys get into it. I think you would enjoy it.
Isn't season 2 out?
Season 2 is about to come out.
Okay.
So it's a good time to hop in.
Yeah.
You don't need to have seen the movie because it's loosely based off the movie.
Well, it's based off a graphic novel.
Yes, which I think it's more in the vein of the graphic novel. I haven't read the graphic novel, but I think it's more on that side. Because it's more of like a crime drama to start, which makes it kind of interesting. It's a different take on it.
Yeah.
But it's really good. Jennifer Connelly's in it, which I'm surprised you haven't seen it yet because you love Jennifer Connelly.
I know. Well, it's on USA. I don't think
it's on TNT.
Oh, TNT. I have TNT.
Yeah.
I thought it was on USA for some reason.
No, it's on TNT.
Too. All right. I have TNT.
Yeah. And they just announced that the guy from Lord of the Rings, Bean, who was in Game of Thrones.
Sean Bean,
that's his name. Thank you.
Yeah.
Couldn't think of his first name. Is going to be in the second season. So
will he die? Because he dies in everything he's in.
Well, this is after the first season, so he usually dies in the first season of shows, or in the first movie or the first segment of a movie.
Yeah.
Like Lord of the Rings, which you're going to watch the extended versions of every single one of them in one sitting. I heard.
No, not one sitting. I have them on DVD. I have the Lord of the Rings, the whole trilogy on DVD. This year, it's on HBO Max, so I could watch it on 4K.
The extended versions are on HBO Max, so
I could just watch those and
be forewarned that you don't watch the.
I'm gonna do it. I've been really itching to watch these movies, so this would be the year. I think Snowpiercer might be on HBO Max. I'm not mistaken. I think
it is. That's where I watched it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool, cool.
Yeah, that's where I watched it. Because I was looking for something to watch after finishing Titans. So that was like one of the suggested things. So I was like, oh, Snowpiercer. I've been thinking about watching that. Well, why don't I? So I did. And I really enjoyed it. It's really good. It's really good acting. Daveed Diggs from Hamilton is the main antagonist character. So he's really good. And there's some really good speeches. He does some good, like...
monologues.
Well, yeah, good, like, rise up speeches. Because he's, the leader of the tail people. Which, if you know the story, you know what that means. But yeah, it's really good. I don't want to give you too much. I'm not trying not to.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it.
How many episodes? How long?
12 episodes. They're about an hour each.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Oh, because mine is commercials, so they're what, 45 minutes?
Yeah, like 45 minutes. Yeah.
Cool. I'll check it out.
Yeah, they're interesting. They're really good.
It will be on my list. We are in season 3 of Narcos. So we're almost done with Narcos. So maybe I'll go into that next.
Yeah. Claire watched the Night Stalker last week, and she said that was twisted. She's had nightmares for the past 2 nights.
We saw.
She doesn't know it that she's had nightmares for the past 2 nights, but she has. And I haven't told her about it because she was worried that she was going to have them, and she has. And they've been very loud and scary.
The Night Stalker is a creepy guy, dude.
I guess the documentary, just let you forewarn you now, I don't know how Allison is with like super graphic violence. I guess they show pretty much everything, like crime scene photos, the whole 9 yards. So
yeah, we've seen that. Forensic Files does that too.
No, this is like the real stuff though, like actual like the people's like really intense. She said it's pretty intense. Like she was like,
he's an intense guy. That killer, he's a Satanist, and it is creepy. We saw his Very Scary People, that was on HLN. And that's like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And then we saw him like, oh, it's the same guy.
Yeah.
And you know, we were watching documentaries about Pablo Escobar, and they showed dead bodies, real dead bodies of real, you know, it was kind of grotesque.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're used to that, but
okay.
But thank you for the warning, though. I can look away. Like,
yeah, because Claire was, because I was like, "What are you watching?" She's like, "Don't come in here." I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "You will vomit. Don't come in here." I'm like, "Okay." She knows I have a weak constitution when it comes to that stuff, so I was like, "All right, thank you. I'll be back upstairs."
Like,
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh.
Oh man. So what else? What else?
Besides that, it was just football weekend. So we watched football all weekend.
What's going on with Tom Brady?
Tom Brady in the conference championship. They beat the Saints last night, so they're moving on to face the Green Bay Packers, who beat the Los Angeles Rams.
Now, your prediction was his team would not make it.
I was surprised. It was the Saints really didn't show up. Is what it came down to. The first half, it was all Saints. Second half, they kind of just fell apart.
So
I was surprised.
What teams are in Super Bowl? I mean, what teams are in the playoffs right now?
Like the 2 conference championships. The NFC is Packers, Buccaneers. So Aaron Rodgers, discount double check, versus Tom Brady and his Uggs. And in the AFC, it's the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes and his Head and Shoulders commercials versus Josh Allen, who has no promotional attachments whatsoever, and the Buffalo Bills.
So there's 4 teams.
Yes, that's how the conference championships work.
So this coming week,
determines the Super Bowl. Yes.
And now is the Super Bowl the first Sunday of February? Or
yes, I want to say February
3rd. No, February
7th.
So it's the first Sunday. Wow, I'm actually looking forward to watching Super Bowl. I don't care who wins, but I think it will just feel like normal, a little bit normal, just to have.
And I think they're actually gonna allow fans because all the games this weekend had fans.
No, was it family and stuff like that? Like
no, they actually allowed Buffalo. Has allowed 7,600 people.
Wow.
Or 6,700 people.
That's a lot of people.
Green Bay had 9,000.
Do they all have to wear masks? I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, they're all socially distanced as well.
Okay, and they're outside, or these outdoor venues.
It's outside. Yeah, it's all open stadiums.
Yeah.
New Orleans Saints had fans, but that was very like friends and family, and they had like first responders.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So Kansas City had fans too.
Yeah.
They were a mix of fans and like first responders. But
that's cool.
They're all supposed to be wearing masks, but it's outside.
Well, I mean, if you're outside, like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
We'll see if the Super Bowl.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I think the ship sailed on people caring about at certain places in certain parts of the country.
Well, yeah. I agree with you. Sadly.
The horse is out of the barn, as they say.
Sadly. I mean, the vaccine's out there, which is nice. It's slowly, My wife Allison will have her first vaccine shot this Friday.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
because
Claire's
she works
I
at the
think
hospital.
because she's the dental office, I think is going to get down there. Like they're not this wave, but they're on a wave coming up.
Yeah.
I actually can get the vaccine.
Wow.
I'm on now on the board for the Enfield Safe Harbor Warming Center, and all the members of the board and the volunteers that work with the warming center are allowed to get or on the thing to get vaccines. But
in Connecticut,
since I'm
because they just announced only people over 75 are getting the vaccine right now.
Yeah, like that next group after that is that they're involved in that group, but I decided I'm not going to because I'm not a part that's not like in contact with people. So I decided there's other people that need it more than I do. So
yeah, I mean, my wife still has to literally go to work at a hospital.
No, that makes
I mean, I'm happy she's getting it. And
exactly. Yeah.
So we'll see how she feels. I'll report back if she has any symptoms, like any her body responds to the first shot on Friday.
Then she has like 3 weeks till the next one, right? Because it's like a 3-week gap.
2 or 3. Yeah, the next one's in February. But I mean, I
know they talked about it with Claire's place because the dentist office, they're not like in that same grouping as other doctors' offices for some reason. I know that's been a big thing up here in Mass that a lot of dental offices have been like arguing why they're not involved in that same
I can see why, because you're a dentist. Like,
well, they're still front facing people. Like the people have to take their masks off to get their dental care.
I know. I got my teeth cleaned.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like everybody's wearing like they got the mask, the shield.
Yeah, but still, like it doesn't like if they were vaccinated, they wouldn't have to be as stressed out about it.
Well, the problem is we don't have enough vaccines.
Yes.
There's a shortage, obviously.
Thanks, Trump.
And the medical people are getting those first, which they should.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all good. So Mark, I got a news roundup, and then we'll get into WandaVision.
Okay.
Do you have any news to report? Anything?
Nothing off the top of my head. Nothing I've seen lately.
This is going to be a new thing because when we...
I mean, I did see... I don't know. Have we ever talked about the date for Spider-Man 3?
I mean...
Has it been announced?
I don't know. Has it?
Yes.
When is it?
December 17th, 2021.
Aren't they still filming?
Yes.
How the hell is that going to happen?
That's when they're putting it out.
I don't think so.
That's what they said.
I haven't even heard a date on that. Is that rumored? Is that rumored?
No, that's the date. They were pushed back because of COVID with production, but they're at a point far enough along in production that they can guarantee that they'll have it done in time for December.
I bet you it doesn't come out. Yeah, you're right. I bet you it doesn't, though.
And there's been set photos where people are saying it's set during Christmas time. So that's why they're sticking with that date, because they want to make it like a Christmas movie. Like that kind of time frame.
We'll see. I mean, maybe it could be the first MCU film. I mean, if Black Widow comes out, I don't know. But what if they have to push Black Widow?
I don't think they're going to push it at this point. I mean, at this point, Black Widow could go to Disney Plus.
It could, but I don't think it will. It could do.
At this point, it's like if they're going to start like releasing stuff that has her in it, or could possibly have things that lead to things with her, you kind of need to get that stuff out.
I think Disney Plus should do Disney Plus / theater release.
No, because exactly that's what I'm saying.
You can still go to the theater that could come
like
right now. Yeah, Enfield Theater is now closed.
Yes, temporarily, they said in their email.
Yeah, it is. They are temporarily closed, and who knows why. So I did a mall walk just to count how many stores were actually opening in Enfield Mall. As of now, there's only 13 stores open in Enfield Mall out of
I want to know. Here's a question I want to ask.
Well, hold on, let me finish.
No, really quick though. But how did they convince Party City to move in there?
I know, but let me finish my sentence. The mall can hold 54 stores.
Yes.
13 are open. The mall would have been the 14th. They got in there.
Would have been the 14th, not the mall.
The movie theater. iParty, I think that the rent was cheaper.
And you can also, like, actually, it's probably 12 because Target isn't officially in the mall.
It is officially in the mall. You have to
technically
go to the mall to get in.
If you go to the town, that's a separate building. They bought their property that store is on.
I understand that, but I still count it as a store.
They don't, but you can.
I can. I logistics. That's still
Target
whatever.
Doesn't.
But anyway, and GameStop, I walked into there, and everything was like completely like it looked bare bones. It almost looked like it's going out of business. I don't know if it is.
No, from what I could tell you from up here, the GameStop up here is not much better.
They got rid of everything.
They're very like bare bones as well.
Funko
but they lean more towards like the one up here is like has more stuff and stocked and everything.
Enfield had a huge wall of Funko Pops. They're completely gone, and they had like tons of toys. All that's gone. Like I'm saying, like it's bare minimum for some reason.
Yeah.
And before Christmas, it was not like that. So I don't know.
Well, I talked to the guy up the one here because they started carrying Hot Wheels because they had the GameStop exclusive thing from Hot Wheels that I got, and I was talking to him about like their stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, we got like our stores." Like he's like, "Oh, where are you from?" Like, "Well, I'm live up here, but I'm originally from Enfield." He's like, "Yeah, I got buddies that work down at the Enfield store and stuff, and a couple in the West Springfield store." And he's like, a lot of them got like slammed with people because there's nowhere to buy stuff. There's not like toy stores besides Walmart around to get things.
And Target.
So people were like,
but I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, I got a news roundup.
Did you find out anything more about the Best Buy? I know that was.
I don't want to bring it up. It's a rumor. Okay, there's a rumor circulating. I don't want to speculate in rumors. Here's my train of thought. If a store was going to be closing, they would be liquidating or putting massive sales on everything to get rid of stock. Yes. I was just at the Enfield Best Buy. None of that was happening. And the person stated it was closing by the end of the month. That would make no sense. They would literally have signs up saying closing.
A liquidation sale or something.
Yeah, they got to sell everything. Like, granted,
everything must go.
Yeah, like a lot of the stuff might be going to another store, but they would make a big sale about it. So I don't believe it. If it were to, not this month, because I could be so wrong on this, but I've seen enough stores close in my lifetime to believe they would have some sort of like 50% off, we're closing, 75% off, we're closing. I don't know. To me, that's how a store normally closes. I could be wrong on this, but
another random.
I don't feel like it is.
Did you hear that the Chicago Sam's is expanding and adding a pizza restaurant?
Oh, another pizza restaurant.
Yes.
We don't have enough of those at Enfield.
I felt like typing on the Facebook post. Why don't you just put a Dunkin' Donuts in there as well?
Seriously, we have so many pizza places.
Why not join more things that we don't need more of in Enfield?
Wait, doesn't Chicago Sam's? I mean, are they adding on to the one in Enfield?
Yes.
Oh, because I think they have an empty store next to them.
Yes, they do. Yes.
Are they expanding, or are they just going to do?
I think they're taking over the old. I think it was Falsetti's. Was right next door.
Yeah, they're closed.
Yeah, so I think they're taking over that.
Maybe people saw stuff and they thought Best Buy was closing because of that. I don't know.
Who knows?
It's all rumor. I don't like to really go down Enfield. That road.
Everything's a rumor.
All right, I got a news dump.
News dump.
Here, 2 minutes for news dump so we can get into WandaVision. Here we go. Mark Hamill wanted to thank the Mandalorian final director for his role in revising Luke as a symbol of hope, which I thought was really cool. And it is true. We haven't seen Luke in that sort of light. And I thought that was very, very classy of him.
Didn't that director direct the Marvel movies before?
I don't know who's the director. I don't know who. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who that is.
I want to say he directed a Marvel movie. He directed Ant-Man, the two Ant-Man movies.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Mark, this is right up your alley. WWE moves WrestleMania 37 to Tampa Bay, sets Dallas and LA for 38 and 39, and WWE is officially moving WrestleMania 37 to Richmond James Stadium in Tampa Bay, Florida.
Raymond James Stadium.
The date has also been shifted from March 28th to a 2-night event, April 10th and the 11th, which is interesting, I'm sure, with COVID. That's probably why they're doing it. Maybe they have pods of wrestlers and they're going to keep them together. So that's
so Brian, here's a quickly random fact for you.
Yeah.
Peyton Reed, who directed that Mandalorian episode.
Yeah.
I just happened to hop on his IMDb site. Things he's directed, which you will find interesting.
Yeah.
He directed 13 episodes. He directed all 13 episodes of the Back to the Future TV series in 1991.
I didn't know there was a TV series.
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yeah. He also directed The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, a TV movie.
So where's the part I'm going to be interested in?
He directed all 13 episodes of The Weird Al Show.
Yes, I remember The Weird Al Show.
He directed 3 episodes of Mr. Show with Bob and Dave.
Oh, yep. Good stuff.
He directed 4 episodes of Upright Citizens Brigade.
Oh, nice. Amy Poehler's beginning.
Yep. He also directed Yes Man.
That's a good movie.
Jim Carrey movie. 3 episodes of New Girl.
Good. Yeah.
And then since then he went on to direct Ant-Man and Wasp, 2 episodes of The Mandalorian this past season. He also directed The Passenger, which was the Frog Lady episode.
Oh, yeah.
He directed that one, and he directed the finale. And he's in pre-production for Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of quantum stuff going on.
And he directed Bring It On in 2000. So there you go.
There we go. Cool.
Yeah.
Betty White.
99.
99. Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
I just can't believe she's alive. They kept her in her house, and
she must live in like a hyperbaric chamber or something. There must be some
always looked old to me. I mean, Golden Girls, she looked old.
I'll say it. She was kind of a smoke show when she was younger.
Yeah, I know, but how old was she when she was on Golden Girls?
Probably in her 60s. That was like 30 years ago.
That's crazy. Betty White.
She was the youngest. She was the second youngest. Estelle Getty was the youngest in that show.
And she looked the oldest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that. She was 64 in 1986.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she was doing stuff since the TV began, basically.
Well, yeah, she had a lot of shows. A lot of stuff in the public domain. She had a lot of older TV shows.
Yeah.
In the 50s and 60s. And 30s. She's been in TV since the 1930s. Pretty crazy.
TV didn't start till like the 50s, so
1930s and the 40s.
Technically.
She was she was on an experimental television show in 1939. The Merry Widow.
Yeah.
There you go, Mark. She did radio. And between 1930 and 1940, she appeared on such shows as Blondie, The Great Gildersleeves, and This Is Your FBI. And then she had her own radio show called The Betty White Show in 1949.
Yes. Yeah. That was like her first big foray into things.
Crazy. What a career. Hold on, I got a few more things.
Still going.
Oh yeah. Hold on, come on. I'm just scrolling through. Oh, Ethan Hawke is joining Moon Knight series on Disney Plus, and they actually said Poe Dameron. I can't think of it. Oscar Isaac.
Isaacs.
It was reported he was in it,
officially,
but he's officially in it. Yeah. So that's officially cool.
Moon Knight.
Oh, this is an interesting piece of news. Good. I'm kind of excited for this. The writer and director of the John Wick franchise, he will be writing and developing a series pitch based around the popular game Dungeons and Dragons. And I think this is the time you can do it. Now, it's also interesting. Derek, he actually is writing The Falcon and the Winter Soldier for Disney Plus right now. So, nice. I mean, obviously, he's a good pedigree of a writer and a director. And I think Dungeons and Dragons can actually be really good right now. Because I think all the movies and stuff that have come out in the past weren't that good, because I think they were made by people who didn't understand Dungeons and Dragons. And now you have
technology wasn't there at the time.
Yeah, but now you have kids that are the adults that can make something because they love it, you know. And I think he could bring it to life. And then I didn't watch the show. I got to give it a shot on Hulu. But the ratings for Mr. Mayor quadrupled from the first episode to the second episode, which is something that generally hasn't happened in a long time. It's usually just a minor increase, but this was a quadruple. The pilot was like a 0.6, and the next episode was a 2.43, whatever that means. And I guess generally that the show airs in a time that's a DVR streaming time. It's not a very live TV time. They have data on that, I guess. So that's kind of cool for Mr. Sam Malone.
Ted Danson.
Ted Danson there. He's an American. He's like Betty White at this point. He's an
American treasure.
American treasure. Definitely.
Like he had some good capital though from The Good Place. People really enjoyed him in that. Like he was awesome in that show. So I think they kind of like
he had goodwill.
Fans of The Good Place kind of went along to this new show.
Yeah, and it's produced by Tina Fey and company. Yeah. So I did want to check it out. It's on my Hulu, so I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's on the Peacock, so I haven't.
Yeah, Hulu or the Peacock.
Meaning to get to it.
The Peacock. Yeah.
The Peacock.
I that's a weird name for a streaming service. It's still weird. The Peacock.
Well,
at least they didn't call it Peacock Plus, because then.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Too many P's.
Yeah.
Premier Peacock
P's in the pod, as I say.
Too many peacocks. All right, Mark. WandaVision. Let's
WandaVision.
Episode 1 and 2. Let's go through. We're going to do our initial reaction of what we thought. Okay. We're going to talk about. Then we'll just talk about the episode, and then we'll give it a rating, or we'll give a review of what we felt these first 2 episodes gave us.
Okay.
Initial reaction. I know Wonder Woman, you went first. I'll go first for this one. My initial reaction. I watched. I'll do both episodes together. I watched them back to back, like most people, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode, and I thought it was clever. I liked the callback to Dick Van Dyke, a show I watched at Nick at Night growing up.
Yes, who was actually a consultant on the episode.
Yeah, which was kind of cool.
Yes, there's an article on IGN about that, because we both talked about how the Dick Van Dyke show influenced everything, and the director Matt Shankman and president of Marvel Kevin Feige went and had lunch with Dick Van Dyke to consult with him about the show and like different things that they did, and like the whole because he used to write the Dick Van Dyke show, as well as star in it and everything.
Hence the Dick Van Dyke.
Yes. But the thing that came out of that was quite hilarious to both the director and Feige was that Dick Van Dyke was oblivious to the MCU's success. he had not one clue about what the MCU was or anything about it, and why they were asking him about his show 60 some odd years later or whatever.
That's pretty funny.
So he said, Shankman says, we did give him the explanation, and he didn't seem to be too fluent with the MCU. He said it was great. He did say at one point during our lunch, "Oh, I hear you guys have had some great success. That's wonderful. Congratulations. What did you just put out?"
That's awesome. Another American treasure, Dick Van Dyke.
Yes.
I loved his brother on Coach. I think
his brother was away. Great.
His brother was really good.
Yeah.
All right, we can get into all this. Let's get initial reactions
out of the way. Dick Van Patten, though? Not Dick Van Dyke's brother. Was it?
No, Dick Van Dyke's brother was on Coach.
Oh, you're right. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking of the other guy. Yep, you're right.
All right, let's get this. Okay, so my first reaction, I watched that whole thing. I was just kind of like, all right, cool. And then soon as the ending credits start, mind you,
20 seconds.
Yeah. I didn't know how long the episode was because I just hit play. It didn't tell me. So I'm like,
it was super short. It was like 23 minutes.
But hold on. The beginning, the ending credits rolled like beginning credits, and I hit pause. I'm like, is this the beginning now? And I'm like, oh, this is the end. Oh. This is the end. So then I was like, okay. Episode 2, I liked much. I enjoyed it more. I'm just kind of, all right. I get it. We're 50s, we're in 60s.
Yeah.
I thought the ending of the second episode gave us more at the very end with the B guy, and there was a little bit more intrigue about what happened.
I have thoughts on that, but I'll tell you about that when I get to my side.
Yeah. So overall, for me personally, I thought the actual plot, I get it. I get it all. I understand all. I was just bored by it. I like the mystery stuff. I like the Easter eggs. But a part of me was just like, I'm ready to get to the 70s. I'm more interested in that. And then I'm more interested for the mystery. I'm kind of over black. I'm that kind of television doesn't do anything for me. So it didn't like, I didn't laugh. I didn't be like, oh, this is great. I just went, okay, I get it. Time to move on. But my initial reaction was I enjoyed it for what it was. But, yeah. Mark.
My first reaction was I enjoyed the homages to both genres and eras. I loved, like you, the Dick Van Dyke from the Nick at Night era.
Yeah.
I used to love watching that in those shows. But I kind of like, I don't know if I like watched it more like closely than I usually would watch other shows, knowing that they're gonna like there's gonna be things in here that you need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Kinda, which I kind of knew from beforehand from seeing the trailer and stuff for it. So I kind of watched it more intently because I was like, oh, there's certain things that are gonna pop up here, and if you don't pay attention, you're gonna miss it. So you have to like pay attention. So like the Stark toaster oven, and only that red light was the only color in the whole episode.
Yeah.
I was like, that's something. Keep an eye on that. And then just like other little droplets like here and there of things they would drop in. So I'm wrapped into it. I think if it's the story I think they're going into, it's going to be bazonkers. It's going to be crazy. Things aren't going to turn out well for everybody else. But it's going to be crazy. It's great to see Catherine Hahn getting like actual like acknowledgement of her awesomeness in comedy, because she's been a lot of shows that didn't do very well. So now she's actually going to get like people actually going to find out who she is, which I think is great. And also the mom from 70s Show was fantastic in that first episode.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
So what was your initial reaction? You enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it. But I understand where a lot of people, if you don't know like what that's all about, like the genres of television, or you've never seen any of those shows before, you don't really know what's going on.
Could be kind of boring.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of, I'm on the opposite spectrum of you. I do know that, but for me, I was just like kind of bored. I was kind of hoping for more craziness, but this was very much all set up.
See, the thing is the thing I thought of it from I don't know, I like from knowing possible story that they could be going into, that like the whole thing was craziness. What you're watching is literally Scarlet Witch breaking down.
Oh, I get
like
that.
The whole thing is her going insane. So, like, I don't think people realize, like, Vision isn't really there. He's dead. This is not really Vision. It's just a figment of her imagination.
But the way they presented it, I mean, like I said, this is, for me, it was just a lot of setup. I'm really intrigued by the mystery. And we know,
I think it could have what could have helped the first episode is if they had shown like a tiny, like, who these people are. Like, if you're not a Marvel person and you don't know like where Scarlet Witch comes from, why her and Vision are together, that Vision died in front of her and she like watched him die basically. So you don't know, like, going into this first episode, you just assume it's just two superheroes just living in this weird 50s world.
Yeah.
So I think that was a missed opportunity to kind of.
I will say Disney did something very smart on Disney Plus on Legends. They released their first 2 episodes, and one's on Vision and one's on Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
They're about 7 to 8 minutes in length, and they give you the entire history of that character in the MCU, which I thought is really a great idea.
Yeah, but I think if they like did it as like the WandaVision like preview kind of thing, I think it would have made more sense that way. But I think that's like what people aren't, like, a lot of people aren't getting that thought process that Vision isn't really there. Like, he's not alive right now. So
I mean,
in the MCU timeline, he's not alive right now.
I mean, it's not even that. It's like, I understand we understand what's going on. Just, I was bored by the plots of the episode. I just didn't care. There's a magic trick. I mean, the second episode I thought was more entertaining than the first.
Yeah, no, the second one definitely gives more. And like the whole thing of the first episode really just led up to the very end.
Yeah.
Like the very end of the episode was the capper for the whole episode.
Yeah, with the hand and
the hand, and then seeing the sword logo.
Yeah. I mean,
like right there, I was just like, okay, well, thanks for the other 20 minutes of nothing. I don't really need to see all that. You could just give me that.
Yeah.
That 10-second thing at the end.
And it, I like the gum when the handlebar, like the old animation, and gummed up him, and he became drunk almost.
Yeah.
But let's get into, like there's a lot of great stuff in here. There's a lot of Easter eggs, like you said, Mark.
Yes.
The Vision's tie in that very first episode.
Yes.
Is based off the Tom King comic, and the Tom King comic came out. Vision creates a family for himself, and it ends in tragedy. I don't want to ruin it. Definitely go check it out. But the tie represents what his chest would look like.
Yeah.
So they put that as a little Easter egg, which is kind of cool. And then the radio, the Stark Industries toaster.
Yes.
Which it's beeping the red, and
people have said it could be SOS, which I don't know anything about SOS. I don't know what they're actually, because it was like blinking like intermediately, like not like a constant blink. It was like blink, 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 blink. So I was like, I wasn't sure what.
People were saying that it sounded like Tony Stark when they put the lever down on the toaster.
Yeah.
It made the same Iron Man sound.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I'll have to go back and look
that.
at
And then the second episode was the Strucker watch.
Yes.
Who was the guy who made her.
They tortured her and her brother.
Yes.
And that's mentioned in Age of Ultron. So it's like all these weird memories are bleeding through.
Yeah. That's what I think it is. It's all like, it's her just trying to cope with the loss of Vision is what this whole thing is about, basically.
Yeah, she's like trauma. It's like
I don't know if you ever read the comic book version of what this could be. I think it's House of M.
Well, No, House of M. There is no Magneto, and there is no.
Well, no, but I mean, they're like it's like this is a because in the second episode she becomes pregnant, which means if they're going with that storyline of Scarlet Witch's kids,
but I think she's pregnant.
That could be Mephisto, which is even crazier.
Yeah, but if it's all in her head, it's not.
Yeah, it doesn't mean she can't make Mephisto up in her head.
I understand that, but I'm thinking because 70s they're gonna do probably Partridge Family, Brady Bunch, and they always had like a lot of kids.
Yeah.
So I think they're bringing a kid into it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're because in real life, in the real MCU, I think it's all in her head. I think they're gonna have a family, and it makes sense because they pushed the beds together. Remember, and she was kind of pushing them to do that.
Yes.
So I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know what the
possibility, Mark.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities, and the characters like you have Pulsar is Captain Marvel's friend's daughter, was in the second episode.
Yes, and she could be connection to
Captain Marvel too. There's thoughts that I think John brought this up, and I've thought about this too, that Catherine Hahn's character could be Agnes Harkness, who was a witch who worked with Mephisto or worshipped Mephisto. So that like made me think that could be a possibility. So it makes me think like all these and like, and we didn't even see her yet, but Kat Dennings is going to be in this show from Thor. She's playing that character.
That's probably when it's probably gonna like the Awakening. I bet you. That's,
so
probably gonna be.
It's like there's like
that's gonna be on the TV.
In the trailer, there's also shots of the FBI agent that was in one of the other Marvel show
Ant-Man. So
Ant-Man, yeah.
Okay, so
he was the one that was arrested, that took care of was house arrest for Scott. Yeah.
No, Mark. I watch everything with the subtitles on.
Yes.
During the radio scene in episode 2, when you hear the voice, it said that was him.
Yeah, I know. I could tell his voice.
I couldn't, but my little thing said agent whatever, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known. If it wasn't subtitles.
The thing is I think that if that's the story from the comic book, where everyone thought outside of what was going on that someone was doing this to Wanda, like someone entrapped her into this whatever this is.
Yeah.
And it's like she just, and the whole story from the comic book is she just drives off after the Vision, after Vision dies, and just ends up in this random town, and then just basically entraps this town in this bubble that she's created, and she's basically working out her deals from Vision dying, but including entrapping all these people into it. And in the second episode, the thing that made me think more about if they're going that direction was the whole For the Children thing. I was like, that's too obvious. That's too much of a red herring to not be about something.
Yeah. Oh, For the Children, the red helicopter that looked like Tony Stark's armor.
Yes, and had the sword logo on it.
Yes, the sword is now the new shield.
Yes.
Obviously, at the end they show the screen with the hand, and it has sword on the notepad, and
it's on the TV, the screen right next to it. It's the sword logo with the sword.
The very end, the beekeeper has a sword logo on his back.
Yes, but I don't think that was a beekeeper. I think that was someone in a hazmat suit trying to get into, because they don't know what she's trapped inside. So they think that, they send someone in to figure out what that is.
Yeah.
She says no, but in her mind, she's rewinding the whole thing. But in real thing, I think she's killing that person.
Maybe. I don't think she's... I like the fact that she has control of this world. She's learning. I think that, to me, was one of the best parts of this whole thing, was her saying no, rewinding, and now she's having the baby with Vision. So I think now she knows she has more control over what's happening, because she's...
I don't think she knows that she has control. I think she just...
Yes, but I think it's a clue. I think she's like, oh, shit, I just did that. So I think now, going forward, she could be a little bit more self-aware about what's going, how she can handle things
I think she's in a psychological break. I think it's a whole different scenario.
But she's still in this world. She's still literally in a world.
Yes, I think she's slowly losing it.
I love the two lines of dialogue in the very beginning of episode 1. Indestructible head. There's my indestructible head. His head's crushed in real life.
Yeah.
And then he says, always breaking saucers. And she can take down the ship.
Flying saucers took the ship down. Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I did want to bring up Scovian was brought up.
Sokovia. Yeah.
Sokovia, the hello thing. Oh, it's Scovia.
She's European.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool.
The very end of that first episode where the guy's choking and like they're waiting forever, like they're just like Debbie Jo Ruff's character is like, stop it. Like,
yeah, that was weird.
Like I think it's because that's actually happening, but in her, like, she can't be angry, like she can't be distressed because that's like not what the world's supposed to be in Wanda's head. Everything's supposed to be fine and happy and hunky-dory. Like there's no stress or anger or anything like that. So I think she was trying to say stop it in a way like help him, but she can only, because she's being mind controlled by Wanda, all she can do is like, oh, stop it.
Yeah, that was
and then I think that Wanda finally just like turned the vision, was like, okay, save him.
Yeah. Did you notice in episode 2 they had the Mind Stone pattern on the actual on the box?
Yes. Yeah.
Which I thought that was kind of neat. People noticed the toy helicopter, which is in Technicolor red.
Yeah.
It had the sword.
Very pleasant villain.
Yes, very. We talked about the watch, which it said Hydra on it. It had types of Hydra.
It had the Hydra logo on it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And then I guess so. The sword beekeeper, like we're talking about. So in the comics, I didn't know about this. I guess it's notable that the costume is like a beekeeper, which is a better description of an agent working for AIM, Advanced Idea Mechanics. In Marvel Comics, AIM is a group of scientists who services the purpose of overthrowing the government around the world. Their agent's uniform look like beekeepers, hence the confusion around who this guy might actually be working for. It's also worth noting that AIM was founded by Baron von Strucker, like the name on the watch. So it could be, a lot of these could just be Easter eggs for comic nerds.
Yeah.
Or they could actually mean something in this world. And I think the beekeeper thing could just be for the nerds. Yeah. But I think it will mean, like you're saying, it could be someone in a hazmat suit trying to infiltrate if your idea about
the sewer cap had the sword logo on it.
Yeah. So if she's taking control of town and doing this and having a mental break, this person could be trying to come in with a suit so it doesn't become part of her world.
Yeah.
That's an idea, right?
Yeah.
That's a thought.
Yeah, but it's definitely like episode 3. I don't know if they're doing 2 episodes again this Friday or if it's just one.
Just one. It's 7 days.
So, okay.
I watched the preview. They're only doing one.
Okay.
Now, I think overall, I'm glad they gave us 2, because if it was just that first episode,
it would have been totally confunked. Like people had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, and people would have complained more. I think 2, a part of me feels like it should have been an hour-long episode. And
well, I think because they wanted to break it up, like by decade, they want to break up each episode.
I get that.
I think there's a total, like they haven't announced how many episodes. 9
episodes.
So
I feel like we're going to go through the 70s. I feel like we're going to go through the 80s, and then I think
in the 90s.
Maybe
they are. I know for sure. They've shown clips in the trailers where they do the 90s, and I think even the 2000s. There's an episode 2. So
and then I feel like we'll get the break.
Then you get into like the actual what's going on outside.
I bet you by episode 7, 8 we'll get a break.
Yeah, I think around 6, 7 you'll be outside. The battle or whatever is going to happen will occur.
Yeah. So
this leads right into Doctor Strange into the multiverse. So
right.
Or multiverse of madness.
So
there could be a Doctor Strange appearance. I wouldn't be surprised there's a Doctor Strange appearance towards the end of this.
Did you notice the girls, the woman she was talking to at the little party in episode 2? She had a pin that looked like Doctor Strange's magic.
Yes.
Circle.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool Easter eggs. I'm just happy we're out of the 50s and 60s. I'm over that. I'm excited for this week's because the 70s. For me personally, I like that kind of television.
Yeah.
I appreciate what they did, and I thought they did a fabulous job doing it. But those plots were so corny. I was just like, oh God, I just want to get over this. But it's
just one series. There's no. This is it. There's this one season. That's it, right? There's not a second season. Yeah.
But it's a piece of the puzzle. So a part of me feels like I can't give a rating to this until I see the whole thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I can rate the episodes individually, but I can't give you I'm gonna keep watching. That's not like
out of 5 stars for me out of these first 2 episodes. I would say like 3.5. I would give 4 to episode 2, and I would give a 3 to episode 1. So I'd say I would say 4 in total probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want more of the mystery, and those weren't my favorite decades of television. So for me, it didn't really, oh my God, I didn't have any of those moments, but I did have that oh my God moment at the very end. So that made up for it.
I think it was very cool. I agree with that. And I also think it's going to get more interesting. It's going to get more crazy. It's going to get
slow burn. Yeah, definitely slow burn.
Yeah. It's not. It's also, like I said in the chat to other guys, it's very un-Marvel. Marvel's usually very much like, here's what's going on, here's the information you need. They're never like very mystic. There's no like, what's going on? Who's the bad guy? There's always a thing at the end of the episode or end of a movie like, here's a clip of the hand. Here's a clip of Thanos.
It's very J.J. Abrams, very Lost.
Yes.
Very kind of those kind of shows where you get sprinkled in the very beginning and then it unravels over time.
Yes. It gives you like, right now it could be basically anything could be going on right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we don't know.
Like anyone could say anything and it could be true. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It could be that. It could be this. It could be that going on. You don't know.
Here's a question for you, Mark. I go back and forth in my mind. I like the weeks. I like talking about it. I like ingesting. I like having a day to think about it. Maybe my opinion will change.
Yeah.
But with something like this, I'm like, what if it had a better reception if we got the entire thing over the weekend?
It would have, but they wouldn't have got any play out of it.
Yeah.
Like if they just dump this as I know what you're saying. If they dump this all at once, like a Netflix or like any of those other streaming services do, you would have gotten this weekend out of it and then have been done.
Yeah. Well, if it was good and people,
if it was bad, it would have been this weekend and that would have been it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wouldn't have gotten past this weekend. You wouldn't have got much out of it because everyone would have watched it by now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's only 9 episodes. So you would have burned through it in a weekend and you would have been done with it. Whereas this way you have to go through 8 weeks of the show to get to the end of the story, and then they get you set up for the next thing. So right after this will be like, as soon as this ends, it's Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Right.
So,
and Loki, when's that coming out again?
I think next year. I don't know if it's this year or not.
Yes, they showed a full-length trailer. Loki's this year.
Maybe it's later this year though, but not like right after. Not right after Falcon Winter Soldier. I think it's the fall time.
Yeah. Loki release date is May 2021.
Well, there you go.
So it's gonna come
right after Falcon Winter Soldier's end.
Yeah, pretty much. This.
There you go.
I mean, you have 8 weeks. Then that's probably gonna be another 8 to 9 episodes.
Isn't Doctor Strange this year too? Am I wrong in that?
No,
or is that next year? I can't remember when anything is now because Marvel moved so many things around. Was it supposed to be this year and they moved it to next year? Because everything last year got pushed back. Because it was supposed to be end of this year, wasn't it?
What's Doctor Strange?
Into the Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, that's March of 2022.
Yeah. Because I think that was supposed to be this year.
Yeah,
it got pushed back.
They got pushed.
So that would have made sense. Because then this would have ended. WandaVision would have ended right before that came out.
Yeah. But Kevin Feige said it's fine.
I'm saying, but that would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Disney's relying on TV shows to take us until these movies can actually get a proper release.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And I don't think Black Widow will have a proper release come May of this year.
I think by then, like I was watching, I heard a report today before the show started, actually, where they were talking to a doctor, and they said if the rollout gets to the point where they're expecting it to be, come after this week, when things get turned over to somebody else, that they could see like they're doing in California now, where Disneyland is turning into a mass vaccination site.
Yeah,
they could see that going across the country and being like a full blown, like everybody, like sports stadiums turning into mass vaccination facilities.
Yeah.
And getting more people vaccinated then.
I get that. But do people feel comfortable enough going to a theater? Because you don't know everybody around you has a vaccine. And not everybody's going to get it.
I think it's going to be to the point where you're going to have a thing that says you've been vaccinated.
I will probably not go to the theater this year until the end of the year, maybe.
No, but I could still see them like doing the Wonder Woman scenario at that point. If things are in a different space come May, I can then see them being like, okay, we're going to do Black Widow in the theaters for 3 weeks, and then after that, or do the Mulan style, where you pay the $20 or whatever to own the movie.
Yeah, I kind of feel like maybe making us pay $20 because they want to make money.
Yeah,
might be the way, and I'm fine with paying. I'm not going to pay 30. I'll pay 20.
Yeah.
I don't know. We should place bets, but I feel like Black Widow's not. I think it's gonna have.
I think it's too early to tell because it's just the way things are going right now.
I know you're right.
Make an assumption right now. You can't like.
I think we'll have a better idea in March.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mark, that was one. We're gonna follow it through. Week to week, we're gonna cover it every end half of the show. So I think it'll give us some. We don't have to worry about topics or anything. We'll do the news and WandaVision. And then we'll do the news and
then
the other
Falcon Winter Soldier. And then the news, then Loki.
Yeah. And honestly, I like doing it this way because it makes me watch the show on time and I don't wait. Because
I don't have to not talk about it for months on end.
Right.
Waiting for your lazy butt to actually watch a TV show on time.
Right. So I think I like this.
I do as well. That makes my life a lot less hectic of having to be careful what I say around you so I don't ruin things.
Right. So, I mean, this is Disney Plus hitting its stride.
This is what it was meant for.
If
you think about it, by the time Loki's done, if that's in May, we're pretty close to, if it's like a 8 to 10 episode show.
It'll be out during Black Widow.
That'll get you like June, July. So.
Yeah.
By then, I'm sure they'll have another show ready to go.
Who knows?
Because What If's going to be coming out too this year.
That What If? Let me look that up. I'm excited for What If.
I'm excited for What If. I'm into that. I'm ready for that.
I like the animation. What If?
Marvel Zombies? Yeah. Come on.
Captain Britain? Coming summer of 2021.
So that'll be July.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep, as soon as Loki's done.
Yep, What If? I mean,
What If will be on, and then that'll lead us right into Mandalorian or Boba Fett. So there you go.
Yeah, or whatever comes next.
That'll lead us into Boba Fett, and then Mandalorian will be on. So we'll be right back into it again.
We'll be in 2022 before
then Obi-Wan Kenobi will come out after that. It's going to be great. It's going to be nonstop.
They got us, baby.
Programming for the show is covered. We don't have to worry about anything.
the money I pay for Disney Plus has now finally been worth it.
Yes, it's actually worth having the subscription now.
Right.
No more watching just 8 shows of one show and then canceling and then jumping back on when it comes back.
All right, Mark. Well, it's been a show.
It has been.
We'll be back next week. I think this is perfect. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Have a good inauguration Wednesday or tomorrow?
Wednesday, 20th.
Wednesday. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll be back next week.
Fingers crossed. We don't have a civil war.
Hope that stuff doesn't go kaflooey.
I think we'll be fine because they're so over-prepared. It's just going to be so nice that literally tomorrow is Mr. Dump's last day in office.
I got to say, I got to give him a little bit of credit. It's been kind of interesting watching the news and seeing the reports of his folks like just walking out of the building with stuff. It was pretty awesome. That was pretty. Just there goes Abraham Lincoln's bust out the front door with a soldier just holding the door open for him, letting him walk right out.
They stole Nancy Pelosi's laptop, and someone was trying to sell it to Russia. Are you fucking kidding me?
I gotta say, I saw the greatest Russian video over the weekend. I don't know if it was just recently or a while ago, but it was one of my favorite like Putin videos I ever saw. His Minister of Agriculture was giving his report at like their big like cabinet meeting, and it was being videotaped for whatever reason because who knows. But so he was like trying to like talk about how they need to increase their pork exports. So he like says like, oh, we need to like sell to all these places, and he's like, in Indonesia and the Middle East, we need to boost our pork exports. And Putin just like leans over and looks at the guy and goes, people in Indonesia and the Middle East don't eat pork. It's against their religion. And just starts laughing at the guy. And the guy's like, oh, well, I guess that won't work then. Like, I was like, that guy's dead now.
Yeah. That guy is not alive.
Oh, it was funny. I don't know. It just made me laugh incessantly for some reason.
That man is 6 feet under the ground.
Yes, he's in a random place somewhere that no one will ever find him ever.
Right. But yeah, well, we'll have, it's a new year. We'll have a new president, and hopefully things will turn around for the better. And we don't have a civil war. Things are looking good, I think.
Yeah. We're gonna mix in, besides just these shows, we're gonna mix in other stuff we're gonna review besides that. Like when movies start coming back out, we'll actually recover those as well. And
Godzilla
Netflix is releasing a movie a week now.
I know, Godzilla in May. I'm very excited for Godzilla in May. They announced it's coming out early, so cool.
Yeah, on the HBO Max too.
Yeah. And Netflix is releasing a movie every week for the entire year. That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they're not all Adam Sandler films. So
no, there was like the whole thing of them releasing the information was hosted by The Rock, Gal Gadot, and Ryan Reynolds, who were in a movie together called Red Notice.
Oh, nice!
It was an action comedy.
I'll watch that.
Which looks amazing. There's a comedy with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence, which looks pretty good. They just showed like a little 5-second clip of it.
Right.
But there's all different types of movies. There's like a Western directed by Kerry Washington.
Man.
There's like all sorts of movies. There's a list online. There's a video package of it. So if you see it, check it out on the YouTubes.
Dude, Netflix is going to own this year, probably.
They should have owned last year because they were pretty much, yeah.
Last year pretty much was, you had HBO and Netflix.
Yeah, but all the new things came out. So
when it comes to movies, though, they could own the conversation for movies this whole year if these are good movies, good flicks.
Yeah.
So. All right, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook's Geekonomics podcast, and
be a part of the conversation. Suggest things if you want us. If you know of a show out there that you think we should watch, feel free to drop us a note on the old Facebook. And let us know, hey guys, I watched this show. I think it's good. You guys should check it out.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll watch it, or I'll probably end up watching it. Brian will watch it 5 years from now. but I'll talk about it on the show, and we'll cover some other stuff, or if there's even some lesser known things that you think we should watch, please tell us. We can't keep track of everything. We're only two of us.
Yeah,
we are the production company, so we don't really have anyone telling us what to do. So we watch what we want. So let us know. We'll watch it. We'll check it out, and we'll be back with more next week. It's Geekonomics. Have a good inauguration, everybody.